Welcome again to Yosu Technology. As I told you in the previous video, this is a yosutek course, and I will be teaching to all of you a little bit about Microsoft Excel 2019. This is the version of the Excel app application that I will be using to teach this course. And this is the introductory or this is one of the introductory videos of this introductory series that I will be teaching. Well, there are three major topics that I will be explaining to all of you in this introductory series. And this first part, it will include one of those concepts that for me it is important to know as an introductory video of Excel, Microsoft Excel. And the name of that topic, it is accessibility checker. Let me type it over here. The spelling it is, let me just write it over here. Accessibility and checker. This is an important concept. It is new. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was launched in 2019 when this version of Microsoft Excel was launched, right? And so I decided to start from this point because at this time when it was launched, this Microsoft Excel version, when it was launched, it was something new. Nowadays, I'm recording this video in 2022, so that it is not that new anymore, but it used to be new, right? At that time. And but basically what it means, what does accessibility checker mean? Well, basically what it means, it is, for example, every single time that you are creating, I don't know, a presentation or something that it can be read by someone or something, I don't know, in the future, but by someone at this point of time, in time, it has a specific structure, and that specific structure or a way of being written, it can be easier or harder to someone with disabilities to read, right? So that is why um, basically Microsoft they incorporated a checker as accessibility checker in their systems. I mean, in the Excel system, right? Because it is a checker that basically will give that power to that applications to detect when something or any characteristic of that presentation of that document uh, it is making that document harder or easier to be read by someone with disabilities, right? So basically, in theory, or by just talking about the concept, that is the concept of what it is accessibility checker. It is basically an scanner that it will scan document for some errors, some details that that they are producing that that document is harder for someone with disabilities to be read by that person. So basically, that's the thing. But I will, in the next part of the video, I'm going to open Excel, Microsoft Excel. Um, I think that nowadays I have a newer version than Microsoft Excel 2019, but I will take as a point of reference to Microsoft Excel to 2019 because that is the one that I learned previously. It has not changed that much, so I will use a newer version according to because nowadays, well, now it is 2022. so I'm probably have a newer version, but I will take from a point of perspective some of the major characteristics or major knowledge at this point of in time, right? So, so as I told you, next part of the video, I'm opening up the application and I'm opening up a book in on Excel, and I will start to explain to you how it works, how this concept works, and how we can use it, how we can use that tool on Microsoft. So, as I told you, this is an introductory video about accessibility checker. So, thank you so much for watching, and I see you into the content part of this video. See you on the next part. Okay, now that I already opened up the Excel app, now I can explain to you how to use the accessibility checker. As I explained to you in the previous part of this video, in the introductory part of this video, the accessibility checker is basically like a scanner. It is scanning the content, the context, and the functionality of the content that is typed in, I mean, in this first sheet, right? For example, um, there are different things that they can be detected like an error. Example, imagine that I use the option merge and center. What is this, or what is the functionality or the function of this tool? Well, merge and center, there are it has two functionalities. The first one is that all these cells that I have selected or they are being selected, they will they will merge, right? Together. They will mesh together, merge together. They will combine. And then the content that is written here, it will centered. Like for example, if firstly it is written over here in this cell, this text or this content, it will centered around here because it will it will get to the center, right? That's basically the functionality. Let me show you. Example now, I will combine these cells. So I have that function is called in on Excel, Microsoft Excel. That function is known as merge. When when several cells they merge together, they combine together like this. You see, there are no more different cells or columns. There is just one, and all the columns, all these cells from different columns, they joined together, right? And now as I use this another option which says center, that means that the, the text or the content that I will write here in this cell, it will be written in the center. For example, let me write the same that is over here, mathematics. Mathematics. Now investigate. You see, the status in accessibility in this area, it changed. Now it says investigate, but where I can see the accessibility checker. Well, if it is not visible here, you can look for it on this tab, the tab that it says review. You push that button, you push this review tab, you enter to it. Once you enter, there is an area that it says accessibility, and there you can find the check accessibility tool, right? Now you push this button, and then you arrive to the same point as if you would push this another button. But in some cases it cannot be visible there because in some cases it can be deactivated. In other cases it can be activated because look at this option. It says keep accessibility checker running while I'm working. But in some cases, this cell over here, it is not selected. So it is not activated, it deactivated, right? But as it is activated, I like to have it that way when I'm explaining because I can see the status. And as you can see, you can enter from here. You can see the status from here, and it says investigate. Something is happening because I will close this. I won't go into details for now about what it was there because I wanted to show you something. I want to show you something. Let me just go back. You see? Let me just go back. And now the status is good to go. You see, this status is changed. Now it is good to go. There is no issue. Let me read for you. No accessibility issues found. People with disability should not have difficulty reading this workbook. You see, everything is okay to go. It's good to go. There is not accessibility issues, right? That's good. That's good because that means, remember what accessibility checker means. When you are creating content by using a Microsoft tool or Microsoft app, you will find out that that content that you are reading is for someone else to read it, but you don't know if you are, for example, uploading content to internet, you don't know what people will read that content. Maybe they are physical disabled, they use glasses or they can see well or they have any other disability and because of that it is the thing that you need to create content and sometimes you need a scanner that is therefore helping you out to create that content and that content it will be easy for that people with disability to read it or maybe do something else with that content depending the goal, right? The objective. And that is the thing. So basically that is the function of the checker. Now that checker, that scanner is saying this content it shouldn't be causing any issue to someone with disability. So it's okay for someone with disability to use this content, right? It's good to go, right? But what happens if I merge these cells together? Example, merge and center. Now, is it good to go? Yes, it is. This is being detected as a title, so it's not affecting the context of this thing um, of this table. It's not affecting it. But what happens if I merge again together these cells? Example, I merge this and I start typing um, mathematics again. Investigate. You see, the A7 to D7, all these cells that are in between, they are affecting the context. They are affecting this content that you are creating, right? So if someone with disability, with disability, is with someone with disability is reading this document, this Excel sheet, if someone is reading it and it is disabled, maybe it will get confused or it won't be easy for that person to understand this content, right? It says mathematics, so it's detecting this as part of the table. So it's not detecting this as a title. So that is why this thing is getting a report. We are getting a warning, a call out, right? Because of that, it says merged cells. So here, just look at this. Uh, you see, once I change that here, the report it disappear, right? It disappears. So that is because now it is not detected as part of this. Now it is not detected as part of this first table. It's probably detected as something else, right? And like for example, here I can start mathematics, science, and many other subjects that you can study in a school, but that it can be detected as something different, something that is not affecting the content of this table, right? It's probably a list or something else that is there, right? Is not part of the table. So there are different things. If you want to learn, well, I will create a separate course um, about it. Right now, I'm just explaining what is this tool, how it works. Like for example, the tool. But there are a lot of there are more a lot of there are more that you can learn that I will help you out to learn it. Next course that I will create, it will be all about this tool, but not about how to use it, but about this part, additional information. Read more about making documents accessible, right? When you click this option, you will get a list of topics that you can get the best practices and you can create as accessible tables, use an accessible template, add text to cell A1, add alt text to visuals, and so on. So for that many other things that I am going to create a new course about all this because there are practices, there is knowledge that we can learn to make a document more accessible. And in some cases, we can just work with this scanner, with this checker. But if you want to go into more details, you can study more about it. Like, for example, how can I make this content that I'm creating, this Excel sheet that I'm creating, more accessible? Because I'm conscious that many people with this ability probably will be reading my content or will be analyzing my content. So probably you will need to learn more about it, and I will help you out in a future course of some best practices that you can put into practice for getting a better understanding of what this tool is, how it works, and how we can implement it by using a certain amount of knowledge to get our content more accessible, right? That's basically the thing. That's it. That's it for the first lecture. This first lecture is just an introductory video about this Microsoft Excel 2019 course, and we will be learning all about the different tools that you may find on these important applications. You will learn as well about for example, some formulas that you can put into practice, um, and many other things. Like, for example, look at this. Um, Here you see percentile dot at the exit ink percent, and there are many other things that probably I won't teach them all because there are some of them that are used in a specifically area, in a specifically subject. Probably some of them you will, if you are studying, I don't know, um, some engineers, probably you will need to learn some of them, but they will be taught by that teacher specifically because that is not that easy. For example, some of them they are for statistics and many other stuff that you may find in a course that is taught. in a university. Um, but I won't go into that amount of details because it can be so complicated. It can be even in some cases impossible, right? To teach because some of those formulas they need some theories, they need some certain amount of understanding about what is statistics, some of those concepts that you may find in that subject. So that make it super hard for me to teach to all of you how to use all those formulas. So I will teach to some of you some formulas, but what I'm going to explain more about it is some shortcuts, things that you can do differently, and some things that you already do, but you wanted to do faster and easier in the correct way. So here I will teach all of that, right? But I hope, as I told you in the introductory video, I hope you find on this course what you are looking for. And so don't doubt about it. Just join me and see you on the next one.